What's up, y'all? Welcome to our YouTube channel, Africans Talk Football. Appreciate your guys' continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.
Welcome back to another episode of Africans Talk Football, where we bring you fresh soccer news highlighting the Africans and African Americans who have seen success within the sport. We're going to bring you news from our favorite teams within the Premier League, as well as informing you on what's going on in the world and top European leagues. Whether this is your first episode with us or you've been rocking with us from the jump, again, I just want to say thank you, and Happy New Year. By the time this episode drops, we will be, New Year's Eve. So I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone who out there listening right now or will be in the future. Again, my name's Cornelius. I'm joined by my boys and fellow co-hosts. Mike, how you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great, man. It's been a good holiday season. How about you, Swan?
I'm doing well, man. All good here. Good holiday season going into 2025. So very good. How about you, Gabriel?
All right, man. Honestly, just getting ready for the season upcoming. Actually, have our first match this week, so it's away, but
okay.
Yeah, it'll be good. So yeah, holiday season, get to see family, old friends. It's been good. CP, how you feeling?
Good. I think if we've all been a little busy, Mike had his birthday last week, and then that rolls right into New Year's Eve. It's always a busy time of year, but it's been good, man. It has been good. And we've also been blessed with some good football, whether our teams have been winning or not. Just the slates have been good. I feel like Boxing Day was a little bit more exciting than we thought it'd be. And then, even going into the games that we had these last couple of days, there's just been a lot of movement on the table, a lot of teams starting to find their footing. So, yeah, kind of before we get into our teams, I want to talk about some things, about some teams, about some players, and about some moving around. So, it's been rumored that Trent Alexander-Arnold has been getting calls from Real Madrid. We've seen Alphonso Davis currently on holiday. We know La Liga gets their time off right before the new year. We know Bundesliga also gets some time off before the new year. Both of them seem to be vacationing together, so there might be some tampering going on. We don't know, but just kind of looking at where Real Madrid is, they're still very, very good in the league, but they're looking to possibly add Trent, maybe add Alphonso Davies. We, over the last year or so, I feel like we've heard rumors about Alphonso Davies leaving Bayern Munich. But what do you think about, just the rumor mill right now leading into this January window? And does Madrid even need all them right now? Or do they need to figure out what's going on with them?
They need wing backs for sure. I mean, Carvajal just went down ACL. Not just went down, but ACL, he's out for the year, I believe. I mean, Mendy is good, but I feel like he's not their preferred number one. I feel like that's a spot in the squad where they're saying they think that like they can bolster. So yeah, I think Madrid needs players for sure, but at the same time, I feel like yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to leave in January. I don't think these are January signings. I think these are summer signings. I think it'd be very difficult to. Yeah, Trent's not leaving Liverpool in the middle of the season, and they're about to potentially win a title. And Alphonso Davies, I doubt that he leaves Bayern Munich in the middle of the season too. So I think these would be more summer things. But I mean, it's interesting to see, guys on vacation. I know, people are friends outside of the sport, of course. So, your friends are your friends. But it's an interesting time, very, very interesting time. But it's just interesting. I don't know. We'll see.
I didn't know Alfonso and Jude were such good friends until this weekend, but you know how that be.
All them guys. I just think specifically those two positions. I think they do need outside backs. As you mentioned, Gabriel Carvalho tore his ACL, so he's going to be out for a while. But he's getting up there in age as well too. So I mean, yeah, I think Trent, especially. I mean, just kind of talking on Trent first. Like I think he's going to be so good, or his skill set would translate so well to La Liga because he'll have plenty of space to do what he does best. and then he just has to essentially provide service for Vinny, Mbappe, and Jude. So I mean, I think for years to come, they definitely will have their right back, and then the left back situation. I think it's just more reinforcements for Mendy, but I mean, Alphonso Davies is certainly a good reinforcement to have, and to get them on free. I mean, I don't know, man. Real Madrid, they're doing it. They're doing it the right way, man, and they're not really. They're getting these guys on free transfers, and they know that everyone, if they come in for you, like everyone's interested. So they got that going for them.
Yeah, I don't think Trent is going to leave Liverpool. I'll actually be surprised if he leaves Liverpool. I think he stays. I think it's one of those rumors that, every year you get one of these spicy ones that everybody's wondering, what could possibly happen. Everybody fantasizes about these guys teaming up together, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think he stays in Liverpool. I will be very, very surprised if Liverpool don't get a deal done before, summertime. He's definitely staying.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow,
if anything, if Trent leaves, I think it'll be after this year. I don't think he'll leave this summer, and I think he'll stay for another year, or stay for this year, another year after that, and then he'll consider leaving. Because I mean, Trent's what? He's 26.
20. I was gonna say he's 26, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, I feel you, Mike, but he's an academy boy. He came up through the ranks, but these are the times where teams start calling, and he's essentially won everything that he could win at Liverpool, right? So you see him in his career, and he says, "Look, this could be a challenge. He could stay at Liverpool. He's already a legend there. You know what I mean? Just being an academy boy. He's from Liverpool growing up. I remember I saw a documentary where he said when Liverpool won, their Champions League, he remembers being a boy in the street when they did their parade. So for him, he loves this club. It's his boyhood club. But once you grow, your aspirations become bigger. So I can see him leaving. I don't necessarily think he leaves this year either. I'm kind of with Gabriel just because of where they are, how solid their team is. I think if they win the league and they make a deep run in Champions League, they're gonna try to run it back. So I see Trent staying for another year, but it just depends for real on
No, but
I don't know. I think it just depends.
If they're gonna give him a contract, they're not giving him a 1-year contract.
No, it won't.
It's just not happening.
Yeah,
so
but
if he was leaving, this would be the time to leave. And I just don't.
Isn't
see
his
it
contract
happening.
up after the 25-26 season?
Well, I'm not sure. I think it's this summer.
Oh,
This
is
summer.
it-
summer.
But
Oh,
this
okay.
is the thing, Mike. This is the thing. Yeah, he might get a 3-year deal, but it's just for the club to cover the club. You know what I mean? So now he has a fee. Like he might get a 2-3 year deal, but then 25, 26 season ends, and he's like, all right, I want to make a move. But
That's fair.
We've
seen it happen.
Yeah, I want the club to be able to get their money for me. You know what I mean? Like we've
Yeah.
seen that with a couple players. Like, no, I want the club to be able to get their fee, get some cheese, be able to,
And Madrid will pay.
And Madrid will definitely pay. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't really see it being a huge issue. Like I don't look at the years as he's going to stay locked down to that deal. Like no, absolutely not. I can easily see him signing a 3-4 year deal and leaving after a year or two. And
Bro, this guy just signed for Adidas not too long ago. He's like one of the poster childs for the Predator. He is gone, 100%. Him and Jude are like this, and then I hear what you're saying. I think if anything, I think that's what makes this Liverpool season so, in my opinion, so I guess one to remember for them because you have so many pieces. Like this is going to be the start of a new era. Salah definitely gone, right? We don't need to even speculate there.
Yeah,
He's out.
Yeah.
He's out for sure.
I think. Go ahead. finish.
Virgil may
Finish.
stay for me. If
Okay.
out of the three of them, I see Virgil staying. But even him, like
I'm telling you, this is statue, status. If he stays, if he re-signs that contract, I don't doubt at some point Trent gets a statue in front of that stadium.
But this is my thing. This is my thing though, Mike. you can be at Liverpool until he's been at Liverpool all his life. Let's say he leaves by the time he's 27, 28. He goes to Madrid for 3-4 years, wins whatever he wins at Madrid, and comes back, bro. He can still get a statue. You don't think Spurs are
going to Liverpool? No.
You don't think Spurs are going to give Kane a statue? Come on, man.
Hey, Spurs
he already has one, right? I know it's a different club, but I'm just saying, like, I think he was. Respect is Thierry Henry has a statue at Arsenal, bro.
Yeah, look where that's well deserved. I don't. I mean, back to your point, I don't think Harry Kane gets a statue for Tottenham.
It's a touchy one, no. I mean,
he already has one.
No, I don't think so.
Warrants your statue? I don't know. He might get.
He may have one of those, like, those Dwayne Wade statues, the Allen Iverson statue. He don't have a. He don't have a Thierry Henry statue.
No, he's no. But I would be I'd be very surprised if listen, a statue of football Harry Kane was completed in 2020, Walthamstow, London, in November 2024. Yeah, he has a statue, bro.
Bro, where is it now?
Is it in front of London Stadium?
It's in Walthamstow. And it's crazy. Walthamstow is where my family stays at. Literally Walthamstow, that train station. So
it's at like a museum or like a historic.
No, it's like I'm looking at it.
Right stadium?
It's not right in front of the stadium.
I'm talking about in front of the stadium.
Yeah. No, I gotta go to in front of the stadium though.
Yeah, that's what we mean.
Museum of Art.
But Trent has an interesting decision ahead of him.
All right, getting off topic, but back.
He has an interesting decision ahead of him, and I think either decision he makes will not be a bad one necessarily. But to me, I think stay at Liverpool. You'd be a legend at Liverpool. I mean, you've seen people move to Madrid and it not work out. What are the chances you go to Madrid and it doesn't work out? But hey, that's what I'm saying. Whatever decision he makes, I don't think it will be a bad decision.
I don't think
he's a Premier League legend.
Not yet.
No. Right now, no.
Not yet.
But at the same time, I don't think Trent's position. How do I word this? You said players have gone to Madrid and it hasn't worked out. Most recently, we can probably say Eden Hazard was the main one who went to Madrid, got his his dream, didn't work out at all, right? But I feel like for Trent's, like, Hazard's position is it's so different, and I feel like they need him to produce so much for, like, in that role, to where Trent as the right back, like, they really just need him to ping a ball 60 yards to Mbappe. I don't think he's going to lose that technique. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think his position is going to, like, I don't think it's going to be like a not workout situation. It would be very hard for it to not
work out.
It's less intense. The whole league as a whole.
It's way less intense. Like, he really doesn't have to defend that much, bro. You got to think about it. Like, he doesn't have to defend that much. He's going to have so much time. He's going to have so much time on the ball. And that's where Trent is dangerous. When you give Trent 5 seconds on the ball to pick his head up, scan the pitch, and be like, oh, I can go pick. He can pick out a 60-yard pass on a dime without even looking. Sometimes he would just put his head down and just kick the ball out. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't think it's a scenario where it's like, it's not going to work out. I just think it's more of a scenario like, does he want to leave England? Does he want to go over? But it's interesting. I think Davies will go though. I think Davies is like, I've been in Germany
for sure.
Madrid is calling. And they haven't given him a contract. I think Davies is for sure though. And I think
Real Madrid needs a left back too.
Yeah, they need a left back like him. And I think it'll be because I think Alphonso Davies, right? If hypothetically, let's say whenever year, right? They get Trent, they get Davies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it'll be like the perfect balance because yes, Trent will attack, but Trent can sit back more and just ping a ball. Like he can literally just sit back and ping balls left and right. Davies would be the one getting up and down the touch line, you know, helping Vinny out, overlapping, this and the third. Like I feel like Davies would really, really make a huge impact. Not saying that Mendy doesn't now. I feel like Davies is a step above Mendy. I think it would be like the perfect balance, but that's just me. You know, that's just my opinion.
No, yeah, those are all good points. I mean, we'll see what happens. You know, like we said, for both players, nothing happens in January, but as the year goes on, we'll hear more about potential moves, you know, over the summer. But before we get into our teams, I do want to talk about Saka because we did get an update on his injury. He did get surgery over the past week, and now it's looking like he'll be out more long-term, closer to 3 months, you know, anywhere from 2 to 3 months now, speculating maybe even longer than that, just depends on his recovery. But I saw, I can't remember if it was Twitter, but I saw something online where someone was saying, you know, they took Eden Hazard as an example, and they said if you look at the amount of games Hazard played leading up to his move to Madrid, by the time he got to Madrid, his body was beat up. You know, he didn't get to live out his dream, kind of like what we were just talking about. And you know, we look at players like Pedri, players like Gavi, players under 25 that already have just wear and tear. You know, playing 80+ matches in a year, and then having major injuries, ACL, Achilles. You know, Saka, we were talking about him, you know, for being this Iron Man, someone who never missed a game for Arsenal. And then, you know, here we go, hamstring. Now he's out for 3 months. And the guy online that I was reading, he said there's something to say about these superstar young, you know, we call them star boys or whatever, that we're putting 60, 70, 80 games per year on their bodies. And then we expect them to go. And then they're playing over the summer with their, you know, with their countries. And then they're all getting injured by the ages of 27, and we're not really seeing them hit their prime. And we've talked about it, and I feel like the world has talked about it, but now that it's happened to Saka, someone who like the whole world kind of heralded as this Iron Man, this young star boy, this guy who's growing, who can lead, and now we're like, oh, wait, what? Oh, so he's out for 3 months in a time where Arsenal needs him the most. Like everyone, I think this injury, you know, with Pedri and Gavi, with Barcelona, it's Barcelona. So you're like next one up. But with a team like Arsenal, who has been out of the spotlight, you know, for the better part of the last decade, and then in the last 2-3 years has actually regained where they used to be, just that status. And with Saka being, you know, the force behind a lot of that, it's crazy to see. And I feel like the whole football world was kind of like, damn, bro, he's out. That sucks for Arsenal. Even if you're not an Arsenal fan, you're like, this really, really hurts for Arsenal. So, you know, just taking that into account, like, what do we do? I guess, like, what do we do?
I think you're 100% right in what you said. I think this is a wake up for me. Just speaking from an Arsenal perspective, I think it's a huge wake up call for Arteta. Like, I think, like we said, Saka, I mean, you got to think about it. Bro is 23, 24 right now. Mm-hmm. Somewhere around there, right? Under 24 and under. At max 24. And he already has 200 appearances in an Arsenal shirt. Can you imagine, bro? 200 Premier League appearances in an Arsenal. I don't think it's only strictly Prem, but he has 200 appearances in an Arsenal shirt. 24 years old. It's
probably crazy. 50 caps for England.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's I think this is a huge wake up call for, I think, just the football community in general. But then also Arteta, you know what I mean? And I'll speak on Arsenal later, but just as a football community, you know, and this is why I high key like have praised Barcelona for how they're treating Yamal, and how they're handling Yamal. Because yes, like yes, he plays a decent amount, you know, he gets a lot of time, but they still rest him, you know, they still rest him, they still they still give him his breaks. Even the Spanish national team, they give him his breaks, and you know, they rest him as well. They just let him train a day or two. Like, all right, go back home and rest. You know what I mean? So I think it's a huge wake up call for the football community, and it's unfortunate that he's out for this long. But you know, every team has dealt with something like this. Every major team has dealt with something like this. I mean, Luis Diaz, he tore his ACL a couple of years, 2 years ago, was out for Liverpool all season when he first got signed. You know what I mean? So I think it's just an accumulation of games and all of this. And to answer your question on how do we fix it, I mean, you have to fix it from the foundation. The foundation comes from all of these UEFA and FIFA adding all of these matches. That's how you fix it. You dumb down the matches. I don't think, you know, it's really a matter of, I mean, I think it's a matter of man management too, but I think it's, you know, we have to slow down on the matches. We don't need all these international breaks. We don't need all these international friendlies in the middle of the year. Like, it's unnecessary. There's no need for that. We don't need us. Like, we don't need these things. You know, we didn't need to add more games to Champions League. For what? What do we need more games for Champions League for? Someone tell me.
Well, I mean, two things about that. I mean, one, I personally think that it is kind of nice the way that they have this new Champions League format set up, though. It's more football. So as someone who consumes, like, you know, football, I guess for me it's good. But
that's what I'm saying, though. It's good for the consumer, but again, yeah.
Okay, but it's not good for the consumer if the product becomes watered down because we're missing.
If the product is watered down, if the product is broken, if the product is injured, if the product isn't 100%, then the consumer won't consume. They're not going to go back to that product.
I agree. What I'm saying is, and I was joking earlier. I wasn't joking earlier when I said it, but the Super League. These people wanted the Super League, and now they're almost, you know, strong-arming you into a position where it's like, wow, the only way that someone can realistically, like, be successful in this model for club and country is you need depth. And quite frankly, at the club level, you need the money to support a team full of, you know, 22, 23, I don't know, some first odd team players. Look at you guys, Chelsea. Look at Chelsea. Before I go, Chelsea, one of the most unique stories in European football this season. Why is that? What makes Chelsea so unique from everybody else in world football? No one spent like you guys. No one did your guys' like strategy. But I'm not saying that Todd Bowley is doing the Super League model, but
No.
So, from the influx of money and, quite frankly, the depth in players. Because you're right. You can't expect someone to play on Wednesday and then Sunday and then back on Tuesday and then back on Saturday. But unfortunately, this is what they try to throw on us. And I feel like this is slowly them being like, you guys low-key need this. You need money.
I mean, so if you look at the new Champions League format, it is the Super League format.
Super League, it is really.
Minus the teams that get the automatic bid because of their European dominance or whatever that they were trying to do with those top 10 or 15 originating clubs or whatever.
Oh no, okay, my fault.
Yeah, you know how like Madrid, like
the coefficient,
the coalition teams would automatically get bids every year too. So I'm not mad at the new Champions League format. I think what Gabriel said is right, and I think what Salam said is right. You need deeper squads. You do. Mm-hmm. You just need deeper squads. That's the name of the game now. And I look at, you know, this isn't a club team, but I look at the U.S. and what the U.S. does that I do agree with is a lot of these international breaks. They send the U21s. They send, you know, these fringe players. They, you know, if it's just a friendly, we don't need Pulisic. We don't need McKinney. Tyler Adams, you already are brittle. Stay where you at. And we bring these guys that are trying to get, and I honestly think it's a good format because not only are you getting these younger guys real life experiences, if you need somebody called up, you at least know, okay, we have maybe two potential strikers that we could bring, or we have a wing back that can fit a role because we've seen him play against Trinidad and Tobago on trash fields, and he still showed me. You know, it's that. With the U.S., I like that. With clubs, it's kind of hard to do that because you only have a X amount on your roster. But I'm not even mad at what Pep does, what a lot of our teams do. Bring up some of these young guys. If you think that they potentially can play, bring them up for these FA Cup matches, these first, second, third round.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you start to alleviate some of the pressure. Obviously, you know, for these first, second, third rounds, you can play your younger guys. As you get deeper in these tournaments, maybe. I don't know. I think that's one solution. But, you know, as we have more sponsors and we add more games because there's more money in the sport, we're going to have to figure it out. It's just what it is.
Yeah, this is what I would say, man. I've always said this about Bukayo. You know, Arsenal fans, I know some Arsenal fans that like to brag about, you know, his engine and him being able to be outworked and play all these games. Some Arsenal fans have used that as a flex. I know that. And I've always been one of those people that have said, I know you're not one of them. Or I would have, you know, directed it right at you. But, you know, I know I've always said this. We've seen this happen multiple times over and over and over again. I mean, when you look at history in football, you see guys come on the scene early, they play a lot of games, and then they don't end up having long careers. And that's been my biggest worry for Bukayo Saka. I mean, there's been times where we even joke in the group chat, he'll be injured one game, next game he's starting. I feel like these are some of the poor decisions made by Arteta is where we are today. I don't want to put
that's what I led with. 100%.
Yeah, it's not all the games necessarily, but I feel like his management hasn't been done properly. I mean, he's out 3 months. Can this be the beginning of reoccurring injuries? Nobody wants that. Yeah. I hope that's not the case because this is a talent I would love to see progress all the way through and get to where I think he should be able to get. And it'll be sad if we're not able to get that Saka to, you know, go through and progress throughout his career and get to the mountaintop because of injuries. But I feel like Arsenal fans should have kind of expected this. He plays too many games, man. It plays too many games. It's ridiculous. Every game. Some games that you don't even think, okay, he shouldn't be starting. He starts. So I don't know. But it will be interesting to see after he comes back if this becomes reoccurring or this will just be, you know, one part of his career where he just got, you know. And we hope that's what it is. It's just an injury. He goes out, he'll be back. So
yeah, when I started, I said, you know, I'm going to speak to
I agree.
Community in general, but I didn't even touch on Arteta, and I 10,000% agree with what you just said. I think the management of Saka has been extremely poor. There are so many first, second round FA Cup matches where it's like, bro, we don't need him to. We don't need you for this 30 minutes, man. For what? For what? Let this man get his fitness in. Let this man get his fitness in. Let him run or put in someone else. We do not need this guy to come in and play 30 minutes. For what? We know he's fit. We know he can play. It's like it. And this is like one of my big things with Arteta, right? And like I don't want to compare it to American sports right now. So what I'll say is, at a certain point, you just have to respect the superstar as a superstar. They have to get superstar treatment. It's you just have to. You have to. You have to cater to that person. You have to cater to that player. You have to cater to that star. And it's kind of comparing to American sports. That's where kind of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady got their riff because it's like, bro, come on, you know who I am. Exactly. We know who Saka. We know who Saka is. We don't have to shout out Brown because this is his birthday today. We don't have to ask questions about LeBron.
Hey, no, that's crazy.
Yeah, we don't. We know what you can do night in, night out. So we can rest you here, rest you there, because I know if I need you at this moment, you can come in and you will be exceptional. Saka is one of those players where, listen, I don't need 30 minutes from you in a midweek match because I know whether you don't play for a week or not, come that Premier League game, come that Champions League game, come whatever match we put you in, you're going to perform at a very high level that we need you to perform at. He's not going to lose. He's not a player that we just lose his form. You know what I mean? He's on that level of Salahs and those players that they rarely lose form. Maybe a game or two that look weird, third game right back.
Consistent,
Simple.
yeah.
They're very consistent, and that's one thing one of my coaches always told me. You always want to, you never want to be here and then drop all the way here. Be here then drop here. You might go here, you might drop a little bit here, but you're still in that range. Still in the range. Saka is always going to be in that range where you're going to get what you're going to get from him. 90 minutes. You're going to get hard work. You're going to get, you're going to get everything that you need. Everything that you need from a star winger, you'll receive. So I think the man management has been extremely poor, and I think Arteta, for me, Arteta needs to look at himself and realize, we made this mistake with Saka, with these Monieris, with these Lewis Skellies now. Fam, now you need to understand that they don't always need to play 90. Not 90 for 80 matches. They not 75 for 80. They don't need to do that because
he's been riding him too long.
Exactly.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. And it's to a point now where it's like before I could semi understand why Saka's played in some of these matches because we didn't have the squad depth. Simple.
Exactly.
We didn't have the squad depth. But now for the past year and a half, fam, we've had the depth to Trossard can start this match.
Yeah.
Nwaneri should have been starting matches. Fabio Vieira, when he was here, should have been starting matches. We have guys, Reece Nelson, we've had guys who can start these matches, FA Cup, here in Carabao Cup, whatever, to go and put on performance. Or just, get their fitness up, give them game time to, so if I need you later in the season, I know you can do a service for me. But he failed in that respect, and I will always critique Arteta on that. He's failed in giving players opportunities and letting just guys just play. You know what I mean? But this is. I know you want to go slow on that. That's the last point, but this is a tough lesson that not only Arteta has to learn in real time, but I think every manager across the world should look at this and be like, all right.
Exactly.
I need to really be able to kind of pinpoint and specify how I can curate the best plan for these superstar players or these players that are going to become superstars, because I don't want to see Eden Hazard situation with Saka. I felt so bad when Hazard went to Madrid and everything went bad because I grew up on Eden Hazard. We all did, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I know your quality. I know what you can do. I know how good you are. You're not bad like this. Simple, and it's just because the wear and tear. Simple, wear and tear, and recurring injuries, and then what are you going to do after that? You know what I mean? So, that's the last thing I have to say. But the mismanagement, man, it really has to be looked at, and I hope that Arteta, unfortunately, it's a tough lesson to learn, but I hope that he can learn from this. And we can move forward in a much, much better direction. And we can start. I know everyone's supposed to be on an equal playing field, but that's just not life. That's not reality. We're not on equal playing fields. It's just that simple. And superstars need superstar treatment. And the last thing I'll say is we need to cater this team around Saka. I'm tired of catering around Odegaard. I know he's our captain, all those things. But Virgil is Liverpool's captain. Who they cater around? Salah. Simple, very simple. He's the one. He's the one of one. Just cater around him, bro. Do everything to support him, to put him in the best situations possible, so he can give you the performances that he's giving you week in, week out, time and time again. But if you continue to just abuse the stardom of someone, at some point it'll come back to bite you. At some point. But
so did you have a point?
I just wanted to say, by no means am I in support of the Super League, but I just they made it very clear that they weren't going to go away from this, and that this is something that was going to happen, and is something that is happening. It's just unfortunate that the clubs are essentially the ones that, to your point, have to either learn these lessons, go through these times, because you can't go through all these games and these fixtures with, expecting no one to get hurt. Like it's ridiculous. So
Yeah, I honestly think what this might do is we might see a shift towards, stronger player development within the club. Like I said, if you need bodies, I feel like these fringe academy guys that you've been looking at willing to call up. I mean, we all have 18, 19, 20-year-olds that have gotten time on the pitch this year for one reason or another, So I honestly think we might just start seeing that a little bit more. But I don't know, with time and new innovations, there's always a period where there's a little bit of struggle until we figure it out. And I think now it's to the point where everyone's looking at these injuries like, look, I mean, look at Man City. They're riddled with injuries right now. Look at what we've said. They've been high octane for the last 5 years. They've been playing everything. So I agree. I think something needs to change. And I think, when players like Saka get hurt and coaches like Pep start talking about it, then people start listening a little bit more.
100%. Yeah, with the quote unquote best player in the world right now can't play. His knee is completely gone. So
the one thing I think we can all agree on is the fact that they do need more breaks. They do need a bigger length of break when it comes to the off season. 1.5 months, 2 months is not enough. Let's push it to 2.5, maybe 3. Give them some time off. I think with that, hopefully it should help with the mini games, but throughout the season too. Like when there's a break, shouldn't be going to play useless. UEFA. What is it called? Conference Cup. What is it?
Conference Cup. Yeah, Conference League.
UEFA something. The international games would they play during the
Nations League.
Nations League. What is that? Come on. We need to stop things like that.
Yeah,
let these guys actually rest and
finally
there's actually qualifiers that they can be played that during those breaks, but they need time off. So I think that's one thing we can all agree with. But on the other hand too, as teams, we all hold the responsibility of making sure we have depth to fight against these schedules. So I think it's an equal blame. You gotta give them breaks, and also as a team, how these games are these days. So hey, prepare your team to be able to withstand long games and long calendar games. So
yeah, I think that's a good place to end it, Mike. I think we can all agree that these guys just need more rest. They definitely have the least amount of rest if you look around the world on any professional sports league. Yeah. Especially with these summer tournaments, it just gets out of hand sometimes. But to hop into our teams, man, pretty tough on the podcast front. United and Chelsea both played today, Monday, and both of us suffered some pretty tough defeats. Both of us lost by 2 goals, clean sheets for the other team. I want to start with Chelsea because, Mike, it's been a while since me and you both sat here and were able to rap about our squad. On camera at least. And I said this last week, and I'll say it again because I think it was evident more last week. Today was good. Like today, Cole Palmer actually had a decent match. I think it was better than what I saw in his last match. I would say that much. But
man of the match, by the way.
Yeah, man of the match. But the team, man, and before the game, I said this is close to my preferred front four. This is close to what I want to see. I'd rather see Nkunku and Jackson start together, but today, we got Joao Felix, and he put in a decent half. I can't even say that he put in a bad half, but when it comes to our quality in the box and when it comes to our finishing, it's been an issue from last 2-3 years at this point. How many chances do we need to score?
Exactly.
Like, how many chances do we actually need to score? I get one was offsides by a hair, it gets called back, but we're hitting the post, and we're getting decent chances. At one point, when it was still 1-0, there was a 5-minute span where the goal just didn't come. But I said, Mike, we need a goal before the end of the half. Mike, you know we don't end halves well. And it's just the fact that we're there, you know, but we're over here giving teams like, and kudos to Ipswich, shout out Ipswich, but a team that hasn't been in the Prem for 25 years, we're giving them their first home win in 25 years, 19 matches into the season. It's honestly like I have to look at the manager and be like, bro, what? You understand that? I know you're saying we're not in a title race, blase, but we're still top 4 on the table, whether you think we're in a race or not. We have to hold the top 4 for Champions League. We have to hold the top 4 to put our standing back as one of those clubs in the Prem. We have to hold the top 4 because this is a money-based league. Those top 4 get more money at the end of the season. We know these things. So I understand the downplaying where we are in the league right now, but that's not to say we can just slack off and not win matches. You know, in our last 2 matches, we've dropped major points, bro. Against
last 3, actually. Yeah.
Last 3. You know, this is they were saying it online. Chelsea this season hasn't lost or not won 2 games in a row. If we draw, we win the next game. If we lose, we win the next game. This is the first time where we've got 3 games with no dub. So for me, now going into 2025, I need the emphasis to be on just taking care of business. No more of this. I think we got caught up. I think Enzo really got caught up. I think he was trying to, like, he saw where we were and he, like, things were going better than expected. And he was trying to play the cool guy, like, oh no, you know, we're not in a race. Even the players, oh, what's that? No. You have to take it as what it is.
Embrace it.
You have to embrace it. You gotta say, look, I know we're ahead of schedule, but it's still 2024. Not say we're not in a race. There are ways to say we're not in a race without saying we're not in a race. You feel me? Yeah. And I think right now we got caught up. That's fine. You know, it's only 3 games. We're still top 4. I said this in the group chat. I know, you know, everybody was saying, you know, Chelsea, oh, you guys are dropping points now, blah, blah, $1 billion team. If you would have told any Chelsea fan in August that heading into the new year, we'd be top 4 with Nottingham Forest sitting in second, we'd all laugh. But we've seen what's happened over the course of the first half of the season. So for me, I'm like, look, I'm not mad at where we are at all, but I do see some things that need to be tweaked. And now that we've been with our manager for a full 19 matches, I'm like, all right, bro, like, look, where is our 11? Because we need our 11, bro. We can't be tinkering with the lineup this time. It's these 7 players with these 4, and we're playing Tosin, and now we're switching it with Disasi and Cole, bro.
No, but that's the thing. He's trying to figure that out because I feel like most of your team is like pretty. You know who your guys are. The other guys are all guys week to week. It's like you look good one week, you don't look good this week.
That was cute. In September and October, bro. We're heading into January. Please, no. Nah, I'm not on that. I'm really not on that because this guy came into the team talking about I value hard work. I value what I see in training. You've had 5 months with these guys, bro. I'm done with that. No more excuses. I'm not going to make excuses for my manager, but I'm going to look at him and I'm going to judge him at where he's at. It's been 5 months, bro.
So you're putting
no one knows who your preferred 11 is. No one, and do you know why that's bad? It's bad because when we go in a tough territory like Ipswich at away, and we don't have that solid 11 where all them guys could be like, oh, okay, I've played with him before. Joao Felix ain't played with a lot of these guys. There's no continuity.
You were just putting up 6. You were just putting up 5, 6.
So no, this is funny
I'm going into no disrespect.
No disrespect. And that's what I'm saying.
I'm going down to Ipswich. What? We don't know our 11. You were just putting up 6, 7, 5.
I agree.
What do you mean?
I agree with that. But clearly, we're in a place where everyone isn't confident. So why not put in your most confident 11? We don't know who that is yet. That is personally look. That's just my qualms.
What's your best 11?
Look, I said at the end of the day, I am comfortable with where we're at. But heading into 2025, I need to see some more stability, some more continuity. I need to know when we're going into tough territories or we have we need to go get a. I need to be able to count on the 11 on the pitch, and I'm never really able to confidently say this team right here, this 11 can go come from behind and get a win every match. I'm not confident.
Okay,
that's just me. That's just me.
Who do you think is your best 11 at this point in the season?
Jackson up front. I would love to see a world where we can have, like I told you who my preferred front four is. I would love to see Nkuku on the left, Nani on the right, Cole in that 10 role. Behind them, I would love to see a world where Lavia and Caicedo coexist, but I haven't seen Lavia enough. The matches where he's been healthy enough to play, bro, the matches where he's been healthy enough to play, I've seen spurts. But again, I'm not willing to go and say Lavia is my guy to go into battle with in week 35 when we need 3 points because I haven't seen it enough. So for right now, it's got to be Enzo Caicedo. It's not my preferred, but what do I think is going to be our best? That's what I think it is. And then our back line, it's tough because you know who I want to see. I want to see Reece James, and I want to see on the other side, I want to see Gusto because personally, I think that's our best back four with Colwill and Disasi in the middle. As bad as he is, you know how I feel about Badiashile.
I thought Mike likes Badiashile.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, I didn't know.
He can never see the pitch because he gives me 1 7 out of 10 performance, and the rest are 5 or maybe 6. And so, like, he's never given me anything to go brag about. And then I guess we got to relegate Sanchez as our keeper because I'm not sure about Jorgensen. But for me, that's what I think right now is our best. My preferred isn't what I think is our best, though. But for me to be confident in the guys that I want to see on the pitch, they need to play, bro. They need to play. And I haven't been seeing the guys I want to see. And so when you go on the pitch with the Nkuku who's trying to prove himself and a Joao Felix who, where's he been? It's like those aren't the guys that I think are going to work the best together. You know, it's just not. But that's just me, bro. That's honestly how I feel. And again, like I said, that's me nitpicking. But going into 2025, I need to know who my 11 are. That's a me thing. I don't know how Mike feels about it, but
a month ago, I told you we were on 5-game unbeaten run. What did I tell you? If this keeps going for another 10 games, and by around match week 25, I'm gonna declare to y'all we're in a title race and shit. I will let y'all know if we're winning the league. I told you all this. And to preface all of that, I want to say that I was the only one who thought we were gonna make top 4. So I still think this team is good enough, right? But this is what I'll say. I didn't expect us to keep winning like we were. I expected, this little slump to happen. I expected it to happen. Did I want it to happen in December? Not really, because our schedule in December is favorable. And I would prefer we pick up majority points in December than, moving forward into the new year. But that didn't happen. And to me, I'm actually not too mad about it, that it happened in December. Because that tells me we have still a lot of the season to go to be able to recover from, December. But I'll say this. I think, for the most part, Maresca has done an excellent job. I can't really complain about a lot. I just can't. It's hard to complain when we're playing the way we've been playing. But a game like today, I think today he went out of, he kind of got too confident. It was too big for him to realize, like, okay, let's tone it down. Just say it. We got bullied by Delap today. Our back line was
talk about it, Mike.
Bullied by Delap. One-man show. He completely bullied every single one of the bad guys over there.
I knew he was scoring from the first 2 minutes in the match.
As soon as he put that bump in the Tosin and dropped him, I was like, oh, he on it today.
What do me and Gabriel say? I want my striker to go and put in a real foul and say, yeah, defender, I'm here. You're gonna have a tough 90 today.
And
any 50-50, I'm fouling as an
before you
attacking
go,
player.
Mike. Before you go, I'll never forget. This was maybe it was a Champions League final. I think maybe it was the Champions League final when you guys won. But minute 1, Rudiger put in a challenge.
Oh yeah, on Foden. I remember that.
Rudiger put in a challenge minute one, like ain't nothing sweet.
That's what this is,
and that's exactly what it was like a carbon copy. That's exactly what Delap did. I was like, oh, he on smoke today.
We did not have an answer for Delap today. We did not have an answer for Delap, and it brings me back to the fact that our back line is still struggling. I mean, Fofana's out. Yeah, I know he's going to be back after the new year, but we can't continue to live our life with just expectations of guys that are going to come back. We can't just be doing that. I feel like in the last 2 to 3 years, most of the season, most of our teams have just been expecting guys to come back because we've been injured a lot. We've gotten to a point where decisions have to be made. I'm sorry, bro. Starting Disasi at right back when you have Gusto sitting on the bench is not a good decision to me. I'm sorry. It's just not a good decision. Start fucking Gusto. He's the best option at that position. I get it. Disasi could give you a shift there from time to time. Today was not the day. Bro, have you not been watching games at Ipswich? It's been a tricky place for people to go. Yes, they usually don't win the games. They give people a hard time at their spot. Like, I just had a weird feeling about today's game, but I still expected us to come out on top. And today's performance was just not good enough. I mean, today, to me, I just think today's on between the midfield and the back. Those guys just didn't play well. I don't think Joao Felix played really well. I mean, it was a decent performance, but he didn't give us what we needed. And I understand it. He's not really a winger. He plays in the position Cole is playing. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to, fit those two in there. Today's lineup, I just wasn't happy with it, but I still think we were a better side on the pitch and should have gotten a result. So moving forward, I think this kind of wakes us up. This is a good reality check that, hey, we're really not in the title race. If we want to be in a title race, these are not games we should be losing. Not to Ipswich, not to Everton, and who did we lose to the other day? Fulham. We can't be dropping games like that. And I just hope as the new year goes forward, we have enough games to recover and fight for top 4. But I did not expect for our December to go this way. But there's always a bright side. We have enough time to get the job done and stay top 4 before the season's over. So that's all I left with to today's game. Today's game was just one of those. I knew we were cooked when easy chances that should go in for any team is not going in for us. And I'm like, yep, it's going to be one of those games today. And before I leave, one last thing. That $1 billion banter people use, it's getting old, guys. Like, come on.
$1 billion
be more like, okay, it's not like we had a great squad and just added $1 billion to it. Come on, guys. Let's be let the context, be more clear on what is going on. It's not just you add $1 billion to a team and then we're supposed to be good. I just don't like that. It's like, guys, come up with something better. That is not a good one. Come up with something better.
2025, man. That's Twitter, bro. Yeah.
It's so like, I'm like,
yeah, bro.
I'm like, if you look with your eyes, is this $1 billion team? No, it's not. A lot of has happened for it to be $1 billion squad.
Say, show me the receipt. Show me the receipt.
Oh yeah, another thing though. We have what's his name? The Baku Juniors guy coming in January. So hopefully we have help on the way, man. Anselminho from Baku Juniors. She's coming in January. So
yeah, I saw that.
That's the first one. We're waiting for the big one. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The one from Brazil. The one from Brazil is the one we're waiting for. Oh yeah. Anselminho is good, man. I hope he's able to start, but with Fofana also possibly coming back, it's going to be interesting who what's his name, Maresca goes with. But I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I think we should be good enough. If we don't get top 4, that would be something. But I think we should be good enough to get top 4. We should be good enough to get top 4.
Nah, so I do want to talk about Ipswich real quick before we move on to Arsenal, and then I do want to talk about Delap. Because Mike, you did say something that I forgot to bring up. I know we talk about Ipswich newly promoted team, but they're decent, man. I know they have a lot of losses on their their first year in, but if you look at some of their matches, 1-1 against Fulham early in the year, 0-0 against Brighton, 2-2 against Villa, 4-3 against Brentford. These guys beat Spurs. These guys drew United. These guys only lost to Nottingham Forest 1-0. They just beat us. These guys have been in most of their matches. For the most part. They started off the year against Liverpool and City, kind of 2 back-to-back. You just got to survive those matches, honestly. But since then, they've kind of found their footing. And I want to talk about Delap because currently he has 7 goals, 2 assists in the Prem. I mean, on a team that clearly doesn't score many goals. He was only $20 million from Hull. They said, because they were talking about him a lot during this game because he clearly was bullying us. They said his first win in was against Maresca as a part of that team. And so he's beat us here again today.
Twice.
Where do we see this guy going? Because Chelsea. Obviously there's no way he stays. You crazy for that. But realistically, do we see him making a top? Like, do we see him going to a Fulham? Do we see him going to a Bournemouth? No. Is that like the next step for him? Where do we see him going to?
I'm not even bullshitting. A player like that, United should be jumping all over. That is a type of striker you guys need. Not these guys that we don't know what they do. Like,
they need
this is the guy in January 1st, 12 o'clock, they should be calling his agent. Bro, I want that guy at Chelsea. This is the strikers I love. This is the striker that makes a center back work.
A pest.
Bro, did you see that one point? It was literally 4-on-1, and he got a corner out of it. 4 defenders on one guy. He has that dog in him, and he got a corner out of it. Come on, man.
Yeah,
that is the striker I like. He's a good striker. I think their team, the table just does not. The Prem might be too strong for them. Exactly how they've been good, it doesn't reflect on where they are.
You're honestly right. 2-3 years ago, they would have been mid-table by now. I think the Prem this year is just strong, and it's showing that. It's tough for them to get points. Like that 3 points just gets them behind Wolves by, I believe, a point. So it's man.
My thing with
the strength of the league this year.
My thing with them is like, you're right. It's the strength of the league. And they just don't score enough goals, but it's not like they just get dog walked. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, every once in a while they might catch. They might catch a 5-piece, but it's not very often that they get dog walked.
Who ain't caught this year?
You know what I mean? Like every once in a while, a team will catch a 5-piece, but it's like I'm just looking at. They have 33 goals against. That's not crazy. You know what I mean?
It's not.
That's really not crazy for a newly promoted team. Hasn't been here in 25 years. Only 33 goals against, bro. That's not crazy. Wolves is sitting on 42, and they've been here for a couple of years. You know what I mean? And yes, they've scored 31 goals, but it's like that's my issue with Ipswich is where can you find the goals here? Because when they're in the championship, they had goals flowing. Ipswich was one of those because I watch the championship. Ipswich was one of those teams where
they scored like 90 goals or something.
Bro, you would go up 1-0 on Ipswich. Maybe even 2-0. Bro, Ipswich is coming back 3-4 goals. Like they used to score goals. But the level of the Prem is so high now where it's like that's not flying. But this is one team. Like I still have Wolves in my bottom 3 this year. I still think Wolves
I did too. Everton, Wolves, Southampton.
Yeah, I still think Wolves will get relegated. And I think Ipswich will stay, bro. I hope they do because this team is one of those teams where it's like they have a good foundation. Yes, some players might get handpicked by other teams, and some players might take that next step in their career. But this is a team that they're not. I agree with you 100%, Mike. Their record in the Prem and they're standing in the table doesn't really reflect the performances most of the time. If you really go back to the performances and look, they have really good performances, bro. Really good performances.
They just haven't gotten the point. They've gotten a lot very unlucky in most.
100%. Even just starting with City and Liverpool, like they held their own for a newly promoted team. Like, bro, we've seen newly promoted teams come in and get dog walk. Like, all right, bro, we don't even need to be here. Like, You don't need
Southampton lost like 9-0 left.
Yeah, come on, fam. Like Southampton doesn't need to be here for a little bit. Like go back, bro. Go back.
They need to go back.
Yeah, you need to go back and build upon that. But it's like, this team is like, no, they have pieces, man. They have core pieces that are really decent that can really
shout out their keeper too, man. He
balled out
today. He had a match.
Yeah,
he commanded the box.
Too.
He commanded the box, bro.
I don't know. Yeah, this is my last thing I'll say about Chelsea. But I think also this is one of those days where, bro, I just feel like everything went for Ipswich today. Like I just feel like
it did. It did.
Favor, man. And like and as a footballer, bro, sometimes you just have those days. Like sometimes you have those days where it's like honestly, once like the first 20 minutes. Once João Felix like had his offsides or whatever, and the first 20-25 minutes are over, I was like, you guys aren't scoring today. It's just one of those days.
I knew.
I've been in matches. I've even played in matches before, even in uni, bro. I was just like, bro, we've had clear-cut chances for the first 20 minutes, and we cannot score. Like, we really might not score today.
Bro,
I don't know how.
The free kick, Kopama hit the post.
Yeah,
and Kunku's right there to tap it in, and somehow he hits it right to the keeper. I'm like,
I'm just like, it's stuff like that where it's just like, bro, it's just not our day. Like, it's sometimes just not your day, and it was just Ipswich's day. No knock to them if they had a great match, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, man, it was just their day, man. There's nothing you could. It was written in the stars. The soccer god said this is going to happen.
It's not our day today.
No, I feel you on that. But yeah, no, I just wanted to get like a little temperature check on Delap. Mike, you're not wrong. That is a guy United should go for. He definitely Rooney vibes. Just one of those English strikers that's going to be a brute. He's going to be annoying, but he produces. Like I said, 7 goals, 2 assists on a team that hasn't been scoring that much this year. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on Delap.
He has half of their GA this season.
Definitely keeping an eye on him.
He has half of their GA this season. Crazy.
Young Liam. Young Lily. Yeah, man. But yeah, man. It seems like it was also Newcastle's day. Newcastle's been on a little bit of a streak. 5 matches, 5 wins. Starting with Leicester, 4-0, 3-1 against Brentford, 4-0 against Ipswich, 3-0 against Villa, and then 2-0 against United. I feel like as soon as we said something about Newcastle kind of being shaky, they just took off. Currently they're sitting right now at 5th, 3 points behind Chelsea. Isak is flying. Shout out my African brother. He is flying, bro. I feel like we can't speak, bro. I feel like we all collectively just rock with Isak, man. He just plays so freely, you know what I mean? And it's just fun. It's just one of those players where it's just like fun to watch. But yeah, so not so much fun for you to watch today, but 2-0. We saw Rashford actually on the sidelines today. Welcome back. How do you feel about just Amorim, the lineup, the match? Kind of just give your thoughts.
No, I mean it's more or less. I said it on our last episode. I thought that this was going to be a pretty difficult week for us. I was actually a little bit more disappointed with the result versus Wolves than what happened today. I think I had predicted us losing today, so I wasn't so much surprised that we lost. I mean, Newcastle is flying at the moment. You mentioned Isak. He's scored in his last 6 games, so shout out to him. My Habasha brother. So he's another guy that I'm like put in a bid for him. Like he more than looks the part. But no, man, as far as the game went today, I mean, like they were on us from the beginning. I felt as if when you look at the first goal, I mean, both goals, man, they're just very just tough goals to watch. And like, yes, I know we only lost 2-0, but that was actually like pretty flattering to actually how the game went. So on the first goal, I mean, I just think Lissandro, I mean, he had a terrible game. Just both goals. I mean, he's just one of many players that, quite frankly, is just not playing well at the moment. So I felt like him and Maguire, more so him, he wore the captain's armband too today. So like, I expected him to be a little bit better in terms of communication on the first goal, and then on the second goal, I mean, quite frankly, he didn't stand a chance. Joe Linton
got dunked on, man.
He came on like Miley Cyrus. Just wrecking ball, man. No, I mean, it was tough. It was tough. And when you saw it, like, I mean, he like bounced the goal himself. So like, it was a bad showing overall, man. But for me, man, like, I'm not gonna like overreact. I'm actually pretty calm about it. It was like what I anticipated, but I think for me, like, there's two things. The first one is I don't agree with Xerxes being taken off. By no means do I think that he wasn't spectacular, but no one was. No one has been. And I think that, he at that point was made out to be a scapegoat just because. And I feel like a lot of people have already turned on him as well, too. A lot of people are painting him out to be like he's not this good player, and that's fine, whatever. But like, but I mean, yeah, it comes with it. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't say. I mean, United fans certainly have a lot of ownership in it as well too. But it's I just thought that it was here's a kid who comes in, new league, young guy. You're at a really big club. You've had 3 managers in your first season. It's not even 2025 yet, and you've already had 3 different managers. And I don't know, like I feel like he kind of Amarim puts him in this 10 role because it's like Højlund has to play, which I'll get to him here in a second. But like, I obviously.
Wait, 1 second. You said Amorim puts him in this 10 role, but didn't Xerxes himself say he's not your prototypical striker?
Bro,
didn't he say it himself?
He's not. He offers a lot more than a lot of strikers do offer, in my opinion. We talk about guys like Erling Haaland, great goal scorer, but at the moment when they're going through their slump, this guy doesn't even really touch the ball. Xerxes, on the other hand, is not like that, right? Does he score as much as Haaland? No, I'm not comparing the two. Mm-hmm. But I think that him as a player, he has a lot to offer, especially when you look at the way our team is made up. We don't really have too many people that can keep the ball. So if the person that's furthest up the pitch, our highest point, if we could have some sort of technical ability there, that's good for us. But I felt like he was made out to be a scapegoat today. I didn't really like that. I thought, I really respect a lot of what Amarim has already done. He's made a lot of tough calls. I mean, again, dropping Rashford for 4 games and then not even playing him today. Honestly, when he came back, the thing that I feared the most was if we're, going to go through with this Rashford thing, like he can't play today. Like he has to. He's healthy. Not? Nah, bro. Like, nah. Just for him, imagine the optics of him coming on. Say he scores. And now the dressing room is already just obviously low on confidence, which was to kind of wrap up on Xerxes. I mean, the team's already confidence is already down. So to see one of your teammates get subbed off like that, and he wasn't hurt, he wasn't nothing. You could tell he was upset because he went straight to the locker room and then came back. So like, bro, this is I know, like, we banter a lot and stuff, but I'm like, this is in the grand scheme of things. I mean, he's a young guy, so I mean, I'm in support of him. I just felt like that wasn't the right thing to do, and I'm curious to see once Amarim gets his players how his man management is, because if you're going to be, I'm going to rule with this iron fist, and if it needs to be, this way, then so be it. I mean, he's,
as a coach yourself, you don't think him taking him off at 30 minutes, there could have been a reason why he did that? Because coaches don't do that unless,
No, coaches don't do that. But bro, I'm watching the game, Mike. It's not as if like he was in one-on-one and missed open chances. It wasn't as if he was misplacing a whole bunch of passes. It wasn't as if like he did nothing for me to be like. I honestly thought he was hurt, like when I saw his number go up, because I mean, bro, he didn't do anything crazy. To what did Hoyland do today? Let's talk about before we talk about Hoyland. There is someone else that I want to talk about, because if you wanted to sub someone off, sub off Lissandro. How about you sub him off? How about you sub off? And I hate that like it's come to this, but Casemiro. My God. It was around this time last year where seriously, bro. I really love Casemiro. To me, one of the best midfielders of this generation. But like, bro, it was around this time for me. It was around this time last year where he just looked mentally just checked out. Yeah. I don't know what it was, but it just seemed as if he's just like, yo, I'm just not. Just don't really fancy it anymore. And we've seen different examples. To my point, it was further shown by, do you guys remember his penalty versus Coventry and the FA Cup semifinal? You would have never thought that this is someone who won multiple Champions Leagues, has so much experience. He got it, dropped it, kicked it, and then looked away. It was just, bro. Nah, man. But today, one of the worst performances that I've seen from Casemiro. Honestly, I get why he had to play. Him and Eriksen, I felt like was a terrible decision to the lineup. But, based off of Ugarte being suspended, Bruno wasn't available. That's who we had available. And unfortunately, I think that's what resulted in Xerxes ultimately getting subbed off, because those two behind him didn't really help him at all. But Casemiro's been bad. Hopefully people who are interested saw enough today to see that he's healthy, and maybe you guys can take him for the rest of the season, because he shouldn't finish in a United shirt this season. There's a lot of guys, honestly, that I'm like that with. Like Delo, get the fuck out. I've said it before, but please get the fuck out. Like you are just, my God. And then Hoyland, bro.
Yeah, that guy he's not helping himself. It's hard to defend him. Yeah,
you take off Xerxes, the complete opposite of what you are. You can't create anything for yourself. Like as a footballer, it's like, bro, all you have is you're just this big athletic guy who has, who has long strides and quite frankly can cover a lot of space. But you're one-footed. You have no right foot. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone knows, as a defender, if I'm playing against you, force him right. I've seen you shoot with your right. Like it rolls to the keeper. So, like, no, man, absolutely. And I don't know, bro. Ten Hag really put us in a very tough position, because we spent a lot of money on these guys. And, yeah, man, this culture has to change. And now that this is our last game of 2024. So, going into January, I'm expecting to see some changes. Fabrizio came out and said that don't expect too much movement from us in this January transfer window. We're focused on the summer. I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're about to get relegated.
I think that's absolutely
crazy. Relax, Mike.
I don't necessarily.
We have the Southampton team on 6 points. Relax.
If they don't,
it can get worse. No, Gabriel, no lie. We are one of the worst teams in the league. Like we've solidified ourselves. As it stands right now, like, and there are guys, even our good guys, bro. You're starting to see them get like. They're starting to get fucked with now too, mentally, with what's going on.
Yeah,
you look at him the last few games, and it's like,
what's going on?
Wow, you look completely just 360. Kobe Mainu, same thing. Ahmad looks exhausted half the time, but I'm like, you look at him, and it's like you've been literally are one of 3-4 bright spots. Euro, I said last week, this is your first year here. This is the environment you're coming on. You have to come on and take off the captain of the team. I'm not saying he was the captain, but it's like there's no stability. So it's a very tough position.
The thing with me, and I know we like briefly spoke about this offline, but I want to speak on Emerin, bro, because he's been here for how long now?
2 months.
2 months, maybe.
Two,
not long.
Yeah,
60
months. Yeah, 60. We give him 70 days, right? Been here 70 days. And yes, like 100%, he came into an extremely fragile situation. Extremely. From ownership, from to top to bottom. Extremely fragile situation. So I understand it's a tough situation to come into. But I'm looking at Emerin. I'm looking at him a little crazy. I'm not going to lie. Because I'll say it. I'll say it. My thing with managers, right? Because managers can't play. They can't hop on the pitch. There's no player managers like that anymore, right? So for me, it's the manager's job, not only on top of so many other things, but when it comes down to his team, he has to put his team and whoever is available, he has to put them in the best position for them to get a result.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot confidently say over the span of the past, I would say 4 or 5 matches, bro. Honest, me personally, 4 or 5 matches. And I'm not even trying to like put this like on a Rashford team. This is like besides Rashford. This is not even like a Rashford thing. I know Rashford hasn't been here for past 4 matches. Just in general, for the past 4 or 5 matches, past month, I've looked at his lineups and been like, why? I've had a lot of questions. I've had a lot of questions about his lineups. And I understand, it's going to take time to figure things out and this and the third. And he has his own ideas and things like that. But I look at today's lineup, right? And I wonder, this is a strong Newcastle team. They're performing at a high level right now.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Maguire starting? Why is Maguire starting?
Who else is start?
Euro. I know he's just coming back from injury, but if we always talk about it, if he's on the bench, he's available. Simple.
No, I personally don't. I personally don't.
I know you disagree.
I think that's you. I personally, I think just because you're on the bench, I don't think that's like.
No, I agree. I agree with what you're saying too. But at the same time, Salam, Euro can go play 60 minutes. Euro can start this match. That's where I'm coming from, because I look at this and it's like when you put up that starting 11, it's like setting precedent, right? It's like, all right, this is the strong light we're going to come out with, and then the guys who are going to come in, they're going to come in to fill a role, but it's also fresh legs. These guys have been playing for a little bit, so we can fill in these guys here and there. But a match like this, I'm looking at it like, this is a strong Newcastle team. You're in a bit of a rut. You need points. This is a very well-rounded attacking front. Defensively, you need to be sound. For me, why is Maguire starting? When you have Euro on the bench, who has started matches for United, who has played 60, 70 minutes. I'm not saying he has to play a full 90, because I know he's just coming from that injury. He's young. We just spoke about this early in the episode. He's young. He needs his rest. He needs to properly recover but we've seen him start matches. Why can't he go play 60, 70 minutes and then bring in Maguire later? Why is Euro not starting? Why is Xerxes starting in a 10 role?
Where is he going to play? He has to, though. I'm
looking at hold on, wait, let me land, because I'm sitting here looking at this lineup like this shit makes no sense, fam. It makes no sense, bro.
Ugarte is out. So who else is supposed to? He's managing. Manu played. Look at Manu's last game. So I mean, like, who
was Manu's last game?
Look what.
And then to my point, Salam, he brought him in 30 minutes later, so he wasted a sub. So this is what I'm saying though. I'm looking at Emerin, and that's my point. But this is my point though, because
why not start with Manu from the jump?
You know what Manu can do.
This ain't FIFA though, guys. It's not just like just play. Like you and I are just we press quit and we're going to play now, and then like everyone's just full of
I understand. But I'm looking at this lineup, Salam. I don't know why Maguire started. I can't tell you why Xerxes started in the role that he did. And honestly, I don't know why Garnacho didn't start. Like,
Oh my God.
we've seen. No. And I'm just saying. No. And I'm just saying. No. And I'm just saying. Let me land. I'm saying this in the aspect of we've seen this United team, and when he wants to, when he sees a city, when he sees a whatever, we're going to see your strongest lineup, right? This is a Newcastle team that's performing high. Why aren't we seeing your strongest lineup, regardless of? I'm not saying Garnacho. Maybe yes, that may be a little bit of a stretch, but the reason I said Garnacho is because this is someone who's been in the team. This is someone who has gotten results in this United team. This is someone who's been here for time, who can understand the role, who's provided big moments for you. Why are you putting players in positions that, one, they aren't used to, two, they don't play, and then three, they're just not comfortable there? Like,
can I respond to you?
Mike, 100%. Let me land. Let me just finish.
Okay.
You have to cater to your team. You have to cater to your team, regardless of how you want to get your points across, your ideas across, your ideology, all of your tactics, all of those things. I understand it, but it comes to a certain point in a certain time when you're playing big clubs, or bigger clubs, or better clubs that are performing at high levels. There has to be a certain sense of like, hey, these are guys I can trust that I know are going to come out, and this is a bigger match. We're at home. I know they can give me a performance. Why is Mainu on the bench, bro? This is like, that's disgusting work. Why is Mainu on the bench? Why is he hurt last
game? 63rd minute, he left hurt last game, which is why he
didn't
start.
So that's fair. I didn't know that. But then you brought him in 30 minutes anyway. So then he's playing another 60. So this is my point. Why not just start him in? Because if he's there, why not just start him? Let him play 60 and take him off 60 minutes in. But yet you let him start trash. You get scored on, and then you're like, oh, let me try to rectify. No, you tell him, hey, I know you're not 100%, but can you give me 50 to 60 minutes? Can you give me a half? We'll start with a half, and then can you give me 15 minutes after that? I'll take you off immediately. These should be the conversations and things that be happening where I'm looking at United and I'm just like, yes, I understand guys are coming off injury, guys are doing this, guys are doing that. But where you guys are at right now, bro, you guys need points. You guys need points. You cannot afford to just keep dropping points, because if you continue to drop points, yes, you will be in this relegation zone 100%, 10,000%. So it's like, why isn't Euro getting 60 minutes? Why is Kobe Mainu getting 60 minutes on the back end? Why isn't he getting the 60 minutes on the front end? Because now you're taking a player who's cold off the bench, who maybe just got a little, 10-minute warm-up or whatever. You got a good warm-up, but you take him off the bench to go into a high-octane Newcastle team. And now he has, for me, this logically, the decisions that Amarin has been making don't make sense to me. But that's just me speaking. Mike, you can say whatever you say, but that's just me.
I'll come to Amarin's defense. I personally think we have to put this in some context. This team is done. I mean, it's completely done. Amarin is trying to find a combination that he finds a spark. That's what I think he's doing, because yes, some of it does not make sense. But these are all the same guys they were struggling with before he even came in. Like, think about it.
This is not all the same guys, Mike. It's not all the same guys, Mike. No.
We've complained about Martinez. We've complained about all these guys. Come on, this is not the first time.
The whole lineup.
This is not the first time. Gabriel, think about it. Like, really think about it. Like,
we've been struggling with
one lineup has Ten Hag not put up. Didn't.
We've been struggling. We struggled with Onana back then. We're struggling with him now.
I see it. I'm also thinking, like, anytime I see their lineup, I'm like, what the hell is he thinking? But then I come back to
options, Mike. He has other options. He didn't listen.
No. When you
we have a Rashford who hasn't played in 4 matches. We have a Euro,
and I'm sure there's a valid reason why.
Rashford,
bro.
Rashford,
come on.
This is a. in my eyes, this is a top 6 match. Why is not your best lineup on the pitch? Tell me.
Because
please.
he's not one of our best players.
He doesn't
he's not
have
one
the
of our
best
best
lineup.
players.
He
What are you
doesn't have the
talking
best
about?
lineup. This team,
Again, you guys
there's nothing. There's not a best lineup with this team, though.
Yeah, what best lineup?
The best lineup would have Bruno in it, and
Bruno had a red. He wasn't available. I'm talking about the guys
exactly. He's not even available. He's not even available.
He had a red. He wasn't available. I'm talking about the guys that are available. From the guys that were available, he did not put his team in the best position to win. That's bottom line for me. He did not put his team in the best position to win, and yet you get a dog shit performance after you just got.
Bro, I'm looking at the bench.
100%.
There's nobody on the bench. I'm like, he brings this person in. Oh, it gives him a spark. Bro, come on, man.
I'm not saying
this team is not.
Mike, am I saying, oh, this player's going to give them a spark? Oh, this person's going to. I'm not saying that. You're missing my point. I'm saying when you're in a high octane match with a team like Newcastle, with a team who I consider Newcastle as a top 6 team, top 7-ish team. They're one of the stronger teams in the Prem. They have one of the best front fours in the Prem. You could put them top 5 if you want to, top 6, whatever. When you're playing a team like this, you have to come out strong. You come out weak, this is what's going to happen.
But that's the thing. They have that luxury, though. The low-key have that luxury to and time to tinker with things because he's been brought in the middle of the season
but Mike,
a team that was already shit.
What do Mason Cam say? This ain't the time for that, fam. This ain't the time for that. Not against
these owners are not looking at these games like, oh, we need to get points. There's no freaking way these owners are looking at these games. Bro,
there's no world where these owners.
They had
Ineos brought him in and said,
No. Hold on. They had a manager from the beginning of the season, and things were going to shit. And you think you're going to bring in somebody with these same guys, and magically it'll change. Bro, it's not realistic. We've seen it with multiple managers, bro. Like, we've seen it.
And then who is that on?
Look at who they played.
And to be completely honest, I think that's the issue. That's the crux of the issue right there. These same group of guys have seen so many managers, they don't feel like anything will change. And I think to Salam's point, it's time to get a whole new team.
Oh, you don't feel like there will be change? So I'm just going to be shit.
But he still doesn't put them in good positions to succeed.
But at the end of the day, you do have to play your players.
You can't tell me that Xerxes today was put in a position to succeed. You cannot tell me.
Gabriel, 1 second. How did United concede their last goal against Wolves? How did they concede their last goal? It was from Garnacho. Garnacho just playing around with the ball. Exactly. And you want me to bring him in because he's going to give me a spark. Bro, come on, man. Bro, it gets to a point you look at this team and just realistically look at everything you've seen. There was no one. I'm looking at the lineup. There was no one that can be like, man, maybe if you started this guy, he would. There's nobody that warrants that benefit of the doubt on that bench for me to say, okay, Amorim should have been playing this. Even Maguire, bro. I can't.
But Mike, we're talking about the same team that just won an FA Cup against Manchester City, the best team in the world. So I hear what you're saying. Like I said, I hear 1,000% what you're saying because at the end of the day, yes, Garnacho did this. This player did that. This player did this. But then what happens when you come to these big matches, Mike? What happens when we come to these big matches where you're playing against teams that are high
looking at these two teams?
Bro,
we're looking at this team differently.
I don't care.
I don't look at United and for a second I think. Bro, I don't look at United for a second. I think, oh, they're about to go on the run here soon. This team, I'm worried for them if they don't do anything in January.
I think
we'll see a win coming. Like I don't understand. Like, where are you looking at and thinking, oh, maybe if he made it this way, I don't know who he's going to put in that gets them a point.
Mike, I'm looking at this team You keep saying this is the same players, right? But this is the same Salam who keeps telling us, oh, but we have trophies. Oh, but we won this. Oh, but we won that.
Right.
So no. But let me land though. And you're right. I'm not saying you're not right, but this is the same team that is somehow able to string together performances in a tournament to get them trophy, to get them silver. Hold on.
The consistency of a league as opposed to a cup.
I hear you. Hold on.
You're saying, go ahead, say it.
Hold on. You're playing against, when you come to, yes, it's a cup, 100%. You need consistency in the league, right? When you come to these last 3-4 matches of FA Cup, Carabao Cup, you're playing higher level teams most of the time. You're playing against, like we said, a Manchester City. This is the same group of players, pretty much the same group of players that was able to go get a win against Manchester City in the FA Cup final, right? In the FA Cup final. And guess what?
They got a win 4 weeks ago. I mean, we could talk about in the league 4 weeks ago.
100%. But no.
Doesn't agree with that lineup. What about that lineup, Cornelius? Because that was a big game.
To my point. What was your lineup in that game? It was your strongest, on paper, your strongest lineup. Your strongest lineup because you were playing one of the strongest teams or a stronger team. When you're playing a stronger team, I don't care who it is. When you're playing a Liverpool, you're playing an Aston Villa. I would put them on the same level as Aston Villa. You're not supposed to put out weak lineups because it's not going to help your team succeed, and you'll get fan reactions like you did today, where Xerxes underperforms, he gets booed off the pitch. Now this is messing with the fan base, because why would you even do this just to put him on for 30 minutes, just to take him off 30 minutes later and put on the guy who should have been starting in the first place? What was the point? Please tell me the point, or what was the ideology? What was the thought process behind that? It makes
sense. Because he's tried everything.
Because in the FA Cup, what you guys do, regardless of performances or how guys perform, whatever the case may be, you put your strongest lineup. No matter what. These are the guys who I know can get this done. He didn't do that today, and that's my issue. He hasn't done that for the past 3 weeks.
Gabriel, but we say this all the time, though. Football moves quick. That win against City, that team that you were looking at, and this team right now, it's not even the same team.
You guys just said this is the same group of guys. Now it's not the same team, bro. Pick one, fam. Pick one.
Bruno,
look. So I'll say this because we've been on the same point for 30 minutes, just about.
Is injured.
But I'll say this. This is the same group of players, but the confidence level is nowhere near anywhere for them to win a game in this competitive league. I mean, we just said it about Ipswich, bro. This team is fighting. They're confident. Even with their losses, they're still confident. That's why they're able to put out results. Because for them, every day in the Prem is this is luxury for them. Like, do you think any of these players thought 3 years ago they'd be fighting for the Prem? No. So for them, they look at every opportunity as we could go get something. United is in a space where they don't even have the confidence to say we can go get something. So whereas their players on paper might be better than some of these rosters on the league, when you go field the 11, we've looked at the 11. We don't ever see players that can go get a win. So for me, I understand both sides, and I don't want to say I'm looking at Amarim crazy because I don't want to say that yet. Like I say, I always give my managers a little honeymoon period of about 2 to 3 months. But I will piggyback on what Gabriel is saying. A lot of these, just in these last 4 matches, because you haven't won, I'm looking at some. We all agreed benching Rashford for the trash that he got accused of. You need to send a message. Go ahead and do that. But if he's on the team sheet, I expect to maybe see him get some burn. If you're going to play Xerxes in a position he's out of position, don't do it in a match where you're already depleted a whole midfield because Ugarte's out, Bruno's out. Go do that in a game where you guys have the ability to play around a little bit. That's my thing. And that's what I've always said. Chelsea went through a Rolodex a freaking carousel of managers where we saw 3 in the same year as well. And I always said, look, with Frank, with Tuchel, with Graham Potter, whoever it is, I'm going to give you your little honeymoon phase. But after them 3 months, when you figure out who the team is you're in, I need to see some continuity. And with Ruben, I haven't seen anything that shows me that he's up for the challenge. But look, you said he wasn't there to win points. I've never heard anybody say that my manager came here to not win points. But if he has all the liberty in the world to tinker with the team and not get points, be my guest, bro. Because I don't have that ideology. I need to see points. I need to see progress. And we haven't seen anything.
This isn't a game to tinker. You play at Ipswich. They play today, but you play at Southampton. You play at Wolves. Go tinker. Go mess around. Mess a bit. Play players everywhere. This match, when fans are looking at this match and being like, "Oh, this is a good team."
What's the difference? I just don't understand.
What do you mean? What's the difference?
What's the difference between this is his first season? What's the difference between this big game you're talking about and because he doesn't know these guys at all. So the last game was just as big as this game. It's a big opportunity for these players because we have a new manager, right? You would have thought Cornelius said he didn't see a manager bounce. I didn't either. We're looking at him. I mean, like, so I just don't understand.
It's hard.
How is it? By no means am I saying like, oh, just this is a free hit. But to my point earlier, January window, this is our last game of 2025.
It just looks really bad.
Salam,
it looks really bad. And it's been bad before, but it ain't been like this.
This is the last thing I'll say about this is that I remember when I don't want to compare the two, but I remember when Ten Hag first came in and you were excited, right? And after the same period, right, 2 months, you were like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense either. I don't know why he did this or why he did that. And I know he has a full backing of Ineos and all of those things. But this is just giving me another Ten Hag vibe, bro. Because 2 years ago, when Ten Hag did this 2 months in, you were like, oh, I still trust him, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think he'll get his players in, this, and the third. But then I'm still looking at his decisions of the players that he's playing and everything, and I'm just like, this doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, but these decisions don't make sense to me.
If Ruben gives me what Ten Hag did, I'll take it. That's 4 trophies in 4 years. That's more than a lot of people have.
See, this is the same. This is the same things that we talk about all the time. This is the same.
I'm just saying, though, it is. Yeah, you can have your beautiful football. Hey, now you know what? Fuck it. You broke.
This is why it's hard.
They got to play both sides of the coin, fam.
This is why it's hard for him to look at your team and have sympathy. But yeah, bro, I do because for me, I'm looking at Amorim and I'm like, he probably was like, well, this is gonna be a tough one because I mean, bro, none of your guys inspire me. I'm looking at that squad and I'm not Diallo, that's about it. But now that he's also hit his like little slump, like, okay, who's picking up? Nobody.
I don't think it's hard for me for him. Everyone else around him isn't at his level. Like when you're playing and no one else around you is at your level, you can do everything you need to do to score, but you just
it won't happen.
It won't click. You know what I mean? So
I can't wait.
I mean.
We have a big game next week too.
It's hard for me. It's hard for me to look at his lineups and judge him because I've seen all the guys, and none of them are gonna tell me that if he would have put these two together, it would have been a stronger lineup to get a win. Bro, we've seen them with a strong lineup and get their ass win.
No,
come on, Gary, bro. You know, come on.
Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty much it.
It's hard for me to.
Whatever you guys say, we can agree to disagree, but I just don't agree with the lineup choices. I simply don't.
I like the discussion. I do. We'll have to check back in.
We'll check back in. We'll definitely do some check-ins.
You have a tough January. I can't wait to check back in.
It's going to be
next game is a big game, Gabriel. Next game is a big game.
Liverpool. Yeah, you play Liverpool on Sunday.
It's a big game
for me.
Away.
The largest.
I look, I was 6. if he gets his guys in January and he bring in a couple of guys and this is still happening, yeah, I'll look at him funny. But now it's just like I can't. There's just no way. I can't.
I'm sorry, bro. I don't have that patience anymore. Like, bro, I'm looking at your schedule now. You play Liverpool, you play us in the FA Cup January 12th, and then you play Southampton after that. Like, bro, if you drop points to Southampton, I look at your lineup and it looks crazy to me. I'm looking at you, I'm like, all right.
I think right after Southampton, do we see Ipswich too?
You see Brighton. You see Brighton, then you see Rangers in Europa League, and then you see
at this point, United has no easy matches. You guys stink, so you better hope you have that anywhere where you can bring some players in.
Every game is a big game.
Hey, look, all of us on this pod have been in your situation. I just said yours looks worse than ours. One, because none of your managers seem to have connected to this locker room. And so your overhaul is going to have to be this entire team. At least some players in and out. By season through season, we would fade. This whole group looked like they need to be thrown out.
This is definitely our worst era since the podcast started. But I believe on the podcast, I have the most trophies.
No, we won Champions League. What are you talking about?
How many is that?
We won Champions League. We won Club World Cup. We won Super Cup. That's 3.
Okay, Mike. Okay, there you go. Okay. Well, we're second. We're second to the mighty Chelsea, the pride of London.
Hey,
Arsenal has a convenience shield, a couple of them. So
he said,
respect.
The video was funny. But no, Arsenal last game. Who did y'all play? Yep, y'all had a good game.
Preview, yeah. Who you guys playing?
We didn't. Oh wait, that was last week. That was last week. My bad.
Yeah, no. I mean, I really don't have anything to say. We played Brentford on Wednesday. I mean,
that's a good game. Where's that game?
It'll be good. It's at Brentford too. It'll be tough. It'll definitely be tough, especially Saka. So
I'll be hate watching hard.
For sure, I expect all of you to be hate watching because it'll be the last game until Saturday. So it'll be tough. I expect it to be a tough match, but I think we should and we need to come out with 3 points if we want to keep on par with Liverpool because they're performing at extremely high level. So, we see Brentford, and I don't care. Listen, I don't care how we just need to get through this period without Saka. That's my whole thing. We need to figure it out and get through this period without Saka. I don't care if we go in there and get a 1-0 win, a 2-1 win, a 7-6 win. I not care. Just come out there with 3 points. That's all I care about right now. That's all I care.
Can I put in my lock of the week right now?
Go ahead.
Oh no, we already did. We already did this week. This is still considered.
We haven't
I was gonna say Brighton money line, Brentford money line.
Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy.
Arsenal with no Saka.
If you want to give that up. If you want to give that as a free play, go ahead. But no, honestly, I truly think that with this Brentford match, I think 2 years ago when they first got in the Prem and we went there and we lost 2-0, I think from that moment forward it's just been you caught us slipping. The home crowd was rocking this on the third. We were away from home, first match of the season. And they had got that hype, but after that, I don't think this is a team that's just gonna. I mean, I'm not saying they can't, put in a good performance. I'm not saying that, but I think our class will just show through. And yes, this team is performing at a very high level, especially at home. They're very, very good at home. So, like I said, I think will be a tough match, and I personally think that this match will probably be decided by a set piece. Simple. I truly think this match will be decided by a set piece. I don't think it'll be a high scoring match at all. But we'll see. I'm excited for the new year, and if Arsenal starts off the new year like that, then I don't know.
There's some in the air, man. Everybody's been holding L's. It's your turn.
No. We held our L's earlier.
Yeah, so we got Palace away, calling GRG right now. Palace hasn't beat us since 2017. I think it'll be like a 3-2 match. We need to score. This is like whenever we play Palace, I feel like it's always just like free flowing back and forth. I see a lot of goals, to be honest. We'll see though.
2-0 at Palace. That's my prediction.
Yeah, man. Well, we got a big game coming up this weekend.
Don't get embarrassed.
Guys,
yeah, man. I wish I could cue like the Undertaker's theme song. We're so fucked. I mean, honestly, I think if the spread was at -1.5, because Liverpool, man, I mean, they show that they can score, man. I'm actually salty that my lock of the week was the only one that didn't hit. Liverpool smashed it by themselves.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, I think that they'll definitely they'll be up for this game. I know Salah certainly will. My goal or assist now. My lock of the week now. I'll give it to you guys. Gabriel, here it is. Salah goal or assist. So,
locked in.
Yeah, locked in. So yeah, I think we will lose at Anfield, and
might take Liverpool spread, honestly.
Yeah, that would be a bad idea. Yeah,
over
hopefully
3.5 goals.
Yeah, hopefully
all of our locks might be that Liverpool game. I was going to take them first half.
All of them. All
hammer
pool.
Hammer pool. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, no, just I'll say my prediction. I honestly think this Brentford match will be a 1-0 match. I think my lock of the week was going to be under 2.5 goals in the Arsenal Brentford, or under 3.5. Because just I don't think there'd be many goals, but yeah, no. Just to speak on our locks this week, went 3-1.
Wait, Arsenal Brentford is that's the line right now? 3.5.
No. I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying for me.
I was about to say take the under. What?
Yeah, no. I haven't looked at the line, like the line yet, but trust me, Wednesday I will be looking at all lines. But yeah, we went 3-1 this week. So, like Islam said, unfortunately, Liverpool just gave West Ham a 5-piece, but those things happen every once in a while.
It is -3.5. It's -170.
Under 3. Oh yeah. Listen, as soon as this drops, when you see this, take the under at 3.5. Please take the under at 3.5 because I'm gonna put it in right now.
Watch, it's gonna be Jesus hat trick, of course. You already know.
Crazy.
Nah, that was all the predictions. Good episode. Oh, City got to win. So shout out to Solo. We just go into shout outs. So yeah, shout out. My first shout out is Pep. Thank goodness for his well-being. They won. He's been like the biggest crash out so far this season. Hopefully he can turn things around. He can kind of get back on track.
Settle down. Yep.
My other two is Xerxes. Get well soon, bro. And then I also wanted to shout out Moises Keane, striker from Fiorentina. Recently, it was the first Serie A game I watched. I watched Fiorentina versus Juventus. He scored the equalizing goal, and he's actually had a pretty good season so far. In Serie A.
Dropped an album too.
Dropped an album. I think he's like on the short list. They have like an MVP in the Serie A, and he's definitely he's up there. So shout out to him.
Shout out to LeBron Raymond James Sr., 40 years young today. Just shout out Bron, man. I know we talk about him, every now and then, but Bron is really it's actually just cool to have been in Cleveland when he, obviously the first time and the second time, but just to see who he is, like his son's now in the league. I don't know, man. It's just been cool to watch. You know, it's like just the superstar rise and become who he is, bro. And obviously, being from Cleveland is just special because I was 8 years old when he got drafted to the Cavs. So he was like the first like real like athlete I became a fan of, like a true fan. And it was the same time I fell in love with Chelsea as well. So like that was a very big year for me. So big shout out to Chelsea, big shout out to the Cavs, and obviously happy birthday, Brian.
Yeah, my shout out is to who do I give a shout out to? To the Chelsea boys, man. Hang in there.
They gave everything.
Bro, top 4, man. Shout out Chelsea, bro.
The ball gave everything.
Why are you pampering them? Yo,
nah. They're doing all right. They've gone through a lot. I think we're turning the page, but you know it hasn't been as easy as you know most of us would have liked. But they're on a good path, so that's all we want. Like you say, I'm not asking for perfection, but you know, actually, if you show me progress, I'll get
a little effort would be nice.
Yeah.
My shout out Ipswich for getting a dub today. I needed that.
You're crazy.
Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, shout out Omari Hutchinson for scoring against, I guess you could say, his old club now.
That weak ass go, man.
Shout out Omari. And then
That's a good shout out. That's a really good shout out. Omari Hutchinson.
Please.
Nah, bro, that's a good
to
moment
Chelsea.
for him, man. Yeah, he's like one of the original. Yo, bro, he was like I don't want to say one of the original Star Boys, but he was like one of the, you know, one of those Star Boys. Nah, bro, and it just like this is a really good moment for him, definitely.
100%. I'm happy he celebrated too. I'm happy he didn't even hold back. Full backflip. Loved it. Loved every second.
He did a backflip. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You've been waiting.
I wasn't even mad about it because I never wanted him at Chelsea anyway. So I'm like,
and I never want him to
do your
leave.
thing, dog. Do your thing.
And then my last shout out, man, because none of us expected this. None of us had this on our bingo cards. None of us would even fathom that this team would be here. But man, shout out Forest, bro. Shout out Nottingham Forest, man. For them ending the year 2024 second on the table, bro.
Yeah,
bro. I actually lost for words at how well this team is doing, man. Shout out to
Salam, do they have a better roster than you?
Sorry?
Does Forest have a better roster than you on paper?
No, on paper, no, because of just the names of who we have. But I think that they have a better team, better squad.
Clearly, they clearly have a better team.
No, yeah, but I mean I feel like that's a fair response.
That's what I was trying to say, bro. It's not that you don't have the players; you just aren't informed.
No, we don't have the players, Cornelius. We don't.
Because of their confidence, and I think that's because of the.
No, it's not because of the confidence. Yo, we could take them to therapy. You could sit there and shout them out every week, like Mike does. After you guys lose, it doesn't fucking matter. We've seen it with Amarim. We've seen it with Ten Hag. We've seen it with.
You guys win trophies. You win trophies, though.
You win trophies. You win.
So you can't.
I'm tired of hearing both sides of the coin, man.
I just want you to hear how you sound sometimes, because I think it's the manager.
I'm a fraud, bro. Now it would be crazy if he doesn't make it, man.
No, they won't get
crazy if he doesn't make it.
But also,
not relegation. If he just doesn't survive Manchester United, because
I don't think he will,
bro. I don't, bro. I didn't want to say it out loud. I didn't want to say it out loud.
Gabriel started it. I really wasn't gonna say nothing about him
because the way this team is so no. To me, in my opinion, y'all need to pretty much get out 10 guys. 10 guys. Within at least.
Can you tell Cornelius? Because we have the guys. We have the guys. Remember when Ragnick said it? When Ragnick said it, they said, "Look at this old senile old man."
But this team, this team needs 10 players. But is this team a 14th place team?
Yeah. No. They said you got to put this one back in. You got to put this one back in. You got to put him back in. Get your mind right.
That's your big meal ticket right now. How much do you think
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys get from Rashford? If you're not
40.
getting 50 mil for him,
40.
Send him
40.
to PSG.
And give me a large
Probably get
vegetarian
you guys are
pizza.
fucked if you only get
Send me a
40
fucking
for
pizza.
Rashford.
Send me some
If you go to
fucking.
PSG, you'll get like 60.
No, bro, yeah. Send me some-
40? You're fucked.
Yeah,
If
and
you're
a plate of
getting only
jollof.
40.
How about that? Give me a plate of jollof too. I'll take it.
All right, that's crazy.
Better be Senegalese jollof though. I don't want none of that.
Oh,
Other.
shit, bro. That's wild, bro. It's crazy because if you're gonna only make 40 for Rashford, what are you making
Straight-
for the
straight
other
profit.
guys?
No, I'm telling you, bro. That's the model. You guys, Chelsea showed that. You sell a couple homegrown players, you'll be fine. Because all those guys, it doesn't matter what we think about the drop in evaluation. This is a homegrown player, straight profit. So
Yeah, but 40 million is not enough.
I know, but that's what it is based off of his.
You get at least 50.
Nah, bro. Nobody's taking his wages, Mike. You're not. That's why it's going to be so low.
You're right. I forgot.
Why do you think you got Sancho for 25 million? Was it because of the great business you did or the bad business that we did? Thank you. It's the bad business that we did. And who was doing that business? Who was doing the business? Cornelius. I've been saying it to you for years. Who's been doing the business?
Eric.
Oh, Eric. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We love everyone's support. Big happy new year, because this will be the last episode of 2024. So wish everyone a happy new year, safe new year, and we'll see you in 2025. Good luck to you in your future endeavors.